Today we're going to talk about the best cheap hotels, the best budget hotels in Las Vegas, and specifically on the Las Vegas Strip, from Mandalay Bay up to the north end at the Strat and everything in between. Now, when I talk about a budget or a cheap hotel, I'm referring to hotels that are going to be in the 3 to 4 star category. Should be around, I say, $175, $180 a night for a typical trip. Now, I know when it comes to cheap hotels, the first hotels that come to mind are Strat, Circus, Excalibur. None of those hotels are on the list. Anybody who tell you that those 3 hotels should be deemed one of the top budget or cheap hotels on the Strip,
stop the cap.
I would need a very, very, very good reason as to why those 3 would be top budget hotels. So today I'm going to give you all my 6 best budget hotels, cheap hotels on the Las Vegas Strip. Now, last week I did a live stream and I asked everyone, what are the most important things that you look for when you're going to Las Vegas or when you're planning a trip? Specifics. I need specifics. Okay, let's start with hotels first. We'll start with hotels first and then we'll break things down from there. What are the 3 things that are most important to you on the hotel? Is it location? Is it the price? Is it the room quality? I want to make sure I know that this is from the stream. All right, yep. Okay, so when we go into Vegas, what matters the most when it comes to we talking in the hotel segment? Our hotel location matters, the price matters, okay, and the room quality matters. Okay, we're gonna keep note of this. We're gonna keep, and without a doubt, the consensus or price, location, which is always the most important part when anyone is planning a trip to Vegas, and then the room quality. Those aren't the 3 things that I use as the most important factors, but I let those 3 things hold a lot of weight in my list, but I also looked at other things as well. So going for my top 6, I'm going to go from bottom to the top, and these are ranked based on my opinions. So let's get into the video. Now, number 6 for my best cheap hotel, I have the Luxor, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people are familiar with the Luxor. It's arguably one of the most popular cheap hotels, I would say, in Las Vegas, because when people are looking to go to Vegas and they look at price, because price is very, very important, Luxor would be the exception that I would say most people would take price over location, even though the greater majority of us all agree that location is more important. Sometimes, depending on the weekend or when you're trying to go to Vegas, the price for location just doesn't sit right. So that's where typically Luxor falls in. Luxor is a cool hotel, especially if you're trying to stay for cheap. The location is just atrocious. It's the second to last hotel on the Strip, and you've got to tram over to the awful Castle Excalibur just to get in walking distance to do anything. But the rooms are cool. You've got the pyramid rooms, and then they just updated some of the rooms in the pyramid tower where they put the Bellagio hand-me-downs in there, and then they updated the wallpaper. So the room is definitely acceptable to stay in, especially for cheap. We'll say you can actually get a good value for a cheap price. But then they also have the tower rooms, which is a newer tower where the rooms actually aren't too bad. You do get extra amenities in that tower that you don't get in the pyramid room. So the rooms are cool. As far as the hotel itself, a lot of people nowadays go back and forth if the hotel is terrible, because a lot of people said they've had bad stays recently. And then a lot of people also believe that the hotel could use an update, because it most definitely could. Luxor does have a nice pool area. They do have some shows that a lot of people like to go and see. So especially for cheap, the Luxor is definitely a hotel that not only would I recommend, but a lot of people already stay at anyway. But I have it at 6 on this list because location is very important, and Luxor's location, especially for everything that you would get at the hotel, has to be at the bottom tier. Next on the list at number 5, I have Flamingo. Now, Flamingo is a very, 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 very popular hotel to a lot of people that go to Las Vegas because it's dead center Strip. It's right in the middle of everything. But the problem is it's dated. It's extremely dated. The rooms is dated, and it's literally just a historic hotel. Because of how good the location is, people make do with the price for the location. The rooms, once you have a Flamingo room, I always tell everybody, if you're going to stay at the Flamingo, to stay in the Flamingo room. I made a whole video on the best rooms at Flamingo. I figured they would at least renovated all of the fab rooms and made them Flamingo rooms, and then just left the go rooms as an option, but that's a whole nother conversation. The casino definitely needs a facelift. Just like Luxor, we were saying how a lot of people believe the Luxor needs to be cleaned up and get an update. Flamingo for sure is 20 years overdue for an update. So why they only remodeled the rooms and haven't done any other renovation is a great question that we would all like to know. But without a doubt, the energy at Flamingo, it is one of the party hotels. It's a lot of energy. It's a lot of people who are looking to party and have a good time. You'll find them at Flamingo. They have some of the most popular pools. Their gold pool is a 5. The hotel pool always attracts a lot of people. And then they have a bird bar, which is kind of like a hidden gem around the hotel. You'll find people playing beer pong. They always have good prices at their bars. And then it's like right next to Margaritaville. So The location and price is a big selling point for Flamingo, but because of how dated it is and because how the rooms need to be cleaned up, and then when you look at an overall lack of entertainment, though they have good pools and bird bar, compared to the other hotels on this list, I have them just above Luxor, and mainly because of its location. So cheap hotels, I got Flamingo at number 5. Now, number 4 on the list, 4, 3, and 2, I had to go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth with these 3 here. But number 4 on the list, I have Harris. Now, in a stream I did a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about MGM versus Caesars hotels, and a lot of people said that they thought Luxor was the better hotel than Harris, but that is just completely not true at all.
Nope.
Now, one thing that I know about Harris, and I even pointed out during that live stream, is that a lot of people don't even go into Harris. When you hear Harris and you think of Harris, you think of the old Harris, how the rooms were old, how the casino had like that smoky, foggy vibe. You just instantly think like, nah, I'm not going to Harris. Harris is just, it's an old hotel and there's nothing to do there. Well, I beg to differ. Number 1, a lot of people don't realize that Harris has completely renovated the entire hotel. All of their rooms have been newly remodeled, and they're really, really nice rooms. I've got a room tour of the Valley Deluxe King and Queen, so you can check out those updated rooms. They've also updated the casino, so the casino is much nicer. It's got a much cleaner feel. The table minimums are also affordable, and that was something I didn't mention about the other 2 hotels, that all of these hotels in general, but especially the other 2, you do get lower table minimums. Same thing at Harris, you'll get lower table minimums on the strip compared to like a lot of other hotels. They do have a food hall, just like the other 2 previous hotels. Those also have food courts, but you've got the food hall. Then you've got the pizza cake, which some people really, really like. I think pizza cake's not bad. It's okay, but it's also a popular place. But they've got the piano bar. In the piano bar, they have live music. They do karaoke night some nights, and that draws a lot of attention. A lot of people love the live music, and they love the energy at the piano bar. And then you've also got the Carnival Court right outside of Harris, which is also a popular place for people who like live music. And I think one of the most underrated factors that people take into account when going to Vegas is the importance of live music. We have nightclubs and lounges, but some people just like to be around the live music. And so that's why I have Harris at number 4. But I'll get into my other reasons why I have the other hotels above. But Harris is a sleeper. And if you're going to Vegas and you're trying to stay on the Vegas Strip, you want to stay at a cheap hotel that's completely renovated, that's new, that's clean, got a nice pool area, multiple food options, and is in the center of everything, you should definitely consider Harris. And I would definitely recommend Harris over Flamingo and Luxor. Now, as I say that at number 4, we're going to go ahead and move up to number 3. Now, this is probably going to be debatable, and I'm perfectly fine about it. We can debate it in the comments. Y'all can share your thoughts below. But I have at the number 3 as the 3rd best cheap hotel on the Las Vegas Strip, I have Sahara.
How dare you!
Because I myself was one of those people that felt that Sahara was an overrated and not worth the trip or worth the stay money. Even though I talked to a lot of vloggers and a couple of people that I've been cool with for years offline about it, I made a stay there recently and I had to move them up the list. Like, I think if you walk inside Sahara, you'll realize not only have they renovated the hotel completely, and it has a very, very nice updated feel to it, but the hotel actually offers a lot. When you look at rooms, I would debate that the Mara style King room or even the Blanco King room, which is 2 of the towers at Sahara, have the best base rooms out of all of the hotels on this list. So when you look at Flamingo's base rooms, when you look at Harris base rooms, when you look at Luxor's base room, the Mara style King room, I'll just use that as a reference because I just recently did a video there. I would say that base room is better than any of the base rooms, including the 2 and 1 spot on this list. Not only that, they've got the Casper Bar there. Casper Bar is a real good place to chill and have some good drinks. But then right on the other side, you've got the Zelle Ultra Pool Lounge. So if you like to have drinks and then listen to music, but be at a lounge and not necessarily a club, you have that option as well. They've also got good dining, and it's a good energy hotel. And then their pool area is a nice place to go and hang out if you want to just be by the pool, or during sports season if you want to watch sports games. Sahara is completely underrated. They got a lot of respect for me. When I stayed there recently, I got to go through and check out a lot of different things. And I will put Sahara, even with this location being further down the strip, I would still put Sahara at number 3 over Harris, over Flamingo, over Luxor. Now, number two, I don't understand why people don't have this hotel as a top 2 or 3 hotel across the board when it comes to Vegas hotels. Number 2 is the second best cheap hotel or best budget hotel, no questions, is Bally's / Horseshoe. Now, before Bally's went to the transition, because there will be Horseshoe at the beginning of 2023, Yeah, it was an older hotel, and yeah, they could definitely use a facelift for certain things, but the hotel wasn't horrible. My biggest knock with Bally's was the fact that they have 8 elevators, but out of 8 elevators, it's only typically like 2 or 3 working. So it's like, what's going on with the other 5? But that was always my biggest knock. It wasn't like their elevators were as bad as the #1 hotel, which I might have just gave away. But it was just they didn't have enough elevators going in time, so sometimes it could hold up a line. They have cheap minimums, but the reason I have Bally's slash Horseshoe at #2 is because of the location and the things that come around the hotel. Bally's, when we talk about location, we say how Flamingo is center dead strip. Well, Bally's is too. It's right next to Cromwell, which is in between Bally's and Flamingo. But there's so much more around Bally's that I don't think a lot of people highlight. They've got the food court in the bottom level where their arcade is and the sports book, so you've got cheap eats there. But they also have like the typical dining on the casino floor. But when you go outside of Bally's, they have a whole little strip right in front of the hotel where you've got Wahlburgers, you've got the Fuel Bar, which is an extremely underrated bar as they have buy one, get one drinks all day long. And then you've got a Tiki Bar where you can get you some tacos or you can get the Dole Whip. Like, there's so much going on at Bally's, and I don't even want to knock Dave's Hot Chicken or Giordano's, the pizza place. There's just so many dining options. But when you talk about like vibes and energy, Bally's is just a place where you're going to always be around a party, fun, energetic vibe. And it's not catered to one specific age range. You'll find people of all ages at Bally's, and it's in the middle of everything. CVS is next door, Bellagio's across the street. You've got literally everything you could need right next to you. And then if you wanted to, you could just walk right through Bally's into Paris. So I think Bally's for the longest time has been the most underrated, cheap budget hotel on the Vegas Strip. And I think once they finish doing this updating, it becomes the Horseshoe, and they finish updating and doing the renovation that it needed, it'll finally probably start getting a lot of the respect that it deserves. So I've got Bally's at the #2 spot. I didn't even touch on the rooms. The Jubilee Tower is the more dated tower, as you would say, but even there, it's just, you can tell chips and stuff in the wood, but they've got the TV and the good amenities that you want in a base room. And then the Resort Tower is the most popular tower where a lot of people like to stay. So didn't even want to waste too much time on the rooms because I really didn't need to. The hotel itself is selling itself for the price and location on the Las Vegas Strip, especially for a cheap hotel. Now, at #1 on the list, and I'm going to just go ahead and tell y'all now, #1 on my cheap best budget hotel list on the Las Vegas Strip, I have the Link. And it's not because it's everyone's favorite. It's not because it's really truly the best budget cheap hotel on the Las Vegas Strip. It's because it has the Link Promenade. Like, it's as simple as that. Like, the hotel itself, I like the Link. I think the Link is cool. It used to be the old Imperial Palace. If y'all remember Imperial Palace from back of the day, they went in there and cleaned it up and remodeled, but they still got those Imperial Palace elevators. I have no idea why they can't fix those elevators, because you need to pray before you get on and get off those things. But their base rooms are clean. I really like their rooms. They're really clean. They have a variety of options. They've got the updated items that you will want in an updated room. The casino itself is a fun casino. It's a real clean casino. We talk about pools. They've got a fun party pool over the summer. On Fridays, they decided to make it at a certain time for 21 and up, so they made it more adult fun friendly. But the Link has O'Shea's, which is like an extension of the casino. It's kind of like a little bar lounge with table games. People are playing beer pong there all the time. It's a fun place to be around. And then you've got the Chayo Mexican Grill. Like, you can access these restaurants without even going out of the hotel. It's literally connected inside. You've also got Hash House of Go-Go. So the hotel itself is cool. I wouldn't put the Link as a hotel over Sahara or Harris, but because they have the Link Promenade, you just can't beat that. None of these hotels can beat that. You've got the whole stripway with all of the shops on the promenade, the high roller there, and all of the eats and the Brooklyn Bowl, everything on the Link Promenade. That's why Link is #1 when it comes to cheap hotels and budget hotels. I know a lot of people believe that the Link is typically the cheapest hotel on the strip. That's not necessarily true. I've been doing hotel reservations for almost 10 years now, and it all depends on the week. There's times where the Link is cheaper than Harris. There's times where Harris is cheaper than the Link and Flamingo. So it just really varies on the week, but on average, they're about the same price. So I have the Link at #1, and the Link is not a bad hotel at all. I hang out at Link all the time. A lot of people hang out at the Link all the time, but it's because there's things to do on the promenade and not more so actually going to the hotel and doing things at the hotel themselves. Regardless of some point in time, there's always going to be a point where you go down the promenade, whether it's go to the high roller, go to O'Shea's. People who are addicted to In and Out for whatever reason that may be, they're always making a stop on the Link Promenade. And the Link Promenade is a vibe. You're gonna see vloggers, they live stream on the promenade all the time. Like, that's just where everyone is going to. So when you talk about like the heart and energy of the Las Vegas Strip, it's truly shifted to the Link Promenade now. I don't think no one who goes to Vegas can really deny that. Comment below and let me know your thoughts. What do you think about my 6 cheap hotels? Would you all rearrange these hotels in different orders? I'm pretty sure some of you would, so I can't wait to see your rankings. Should one of these hotels not be on the list, would y'all have put another hotel on the list that y'all would deem as a budget hotel that I didn't put on here? Comment below and share your thoughts. But that's gonna do it for this video. So if you all enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and as always, thanks for watching.